mic. Is this working? For some reason it's not. Okay, speak without it. All right, I think I can raise my voice. All right, folks, safety and security, other than the aforementioned, anybody have any questions about drugs, violence, traffic, as far as crime, anything?
I have a question for the lawyer.
Oh, you have a question? Yeah.
There's a consultation fee.
She doesn't mind.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to know regarding audio recordings. I know I think it's a one-party, whatever, recording in New York, but if the person doing the recording is not speaking, is that still apply? If they're recording, if you're having a conversation with, if I'm having a conversation, you're having a conversation with Bill, and I'm just standing there recording it at a private meeting.
But this is an organizational meeting, so that's a different standard, and I would say within a apply, that you can do it surreptitiously. That's what you're asking, I mean, you can do it without.
Right. Thank you.
So does anybody have any questions about crime, drugs, anything like that? But I'm going to be, we have a representative from Senator Biaggi's office, and we have Teddy Pryor, an Islander, a representative from Mark Jonai's office. What I'm going to ask them to take note is, how, if they can help us help ourselves and work with the police department, because, you know, there are many people in this room, myself included, who have been victims of cyberbullying and electronic harassment. And as evident from this meeting, we shouldn't have to be victimized by one person who isn't a member. We are in a private meeting, and I would ask our representatives of our politicians to, again, help us help ourselves and come out and take a stand against folks. It doesn't only happen with elementary and high schoolers, folks. There are a lot of people in this room that have been targeted and that are afraid to speak out and that have been harassed. So I would ask our representatives to you know, help us with that. It would be greatly appreciated. So I'm going to switch to a good note. I'm proud to tell you this person is not only a lifelong City Islander, he was born in my house, he is my next door neighbor, he has dedicated his life to teaching and to fitness, and he's come out with a book. Woo! Is John Nooner in their house? John, are you here? Where's John Nooner? Look at him in the back. This man has wrote the book his second book, I'm sorry. His second book, I'm very proud to say, it's called Drown Proof. It's going to be reviewed, hopefully a fantastic review in the City Island Current, and it's about what things to look for. You have children, there are adults, about, you know, drowning, the difference between swimmer's distress and actual drowning. And believe me, I'm his neighbor. I've heard this project for years, and I'm proud, for his sake and for mine, that it's finally out. And it was so great to see over the summers that I've been living next to him taking the children next door, teaching them how to swim. So, you know, last month we had Billy McGee, who's a great City Islander. This month, I'm proud to say, John Nooner, this one's for you, brother. All right, Barbara, you're up.
I don't have too much to report. Shall I talk about the liquor license?
If you want.
Yeah, the restaurant that we were talking about last month, Caliente, applied for and received approval from the community board for a liquor license. They say they're gonna be open in 2 or 3 weeks, and that's been approved. Apparently, if the community board didn't approve it, they would probably still get a liquor license, but without certain restrictions, which they've agreed to. They are going to be open late, but they're not going to be outdoors, which was a rumor that was going around. They cannot, in
This is the one.
light of this
Yeah,
current
440.
liquor license. Yeah, this is at 414 City Island Avenue. Oh, and Dano's, which is the huge attractive building that's next to Seafood City. They also had their liquor license application approved by the community board. which seems to be in favor of approving liquor licenses, basically. They're only for 2 years, so in terms of bad behavior, it means that they can reapply for a new license and maybe get turned down if they have not behaved appropriately. Yes.
Susan, I wanted to add to that.
Oh, okay.
You finished on the license?
I'm fishing on the license, do you want to say something?
Okay, and just to explain, Community Board 10 doesn't get official approval or disapproval. They only weigh in with an opinion, and the State Liquor Authority listens to their opinion. And as Barbara touched on, that the Economic Development Committee of the Community Board works with the applicant to try to impose certain restrictions. And it's just a voluntary, but once they agree to those restrictions, it goes on the license. So for example, Caliente, yes, they are going to be open or allowed to be open until 3 a.m. But if the community board said no and the SLA approved it anyway, all the restrictions that they agreed to don't exist, so they could be open till 4. So, same situation with Dano's. They're going to have outdoor balconies, but, they negotiated, music and for example, Dano's is only going to be open till 1 a.m. on the weekdays, I think, and 2 a.m. on the weekends.
No,
So
it's midnight.
midnight on the weekdays and 1 a.m. on the weekends. And these are all the things that the community board negotiates that would go by the boards if the community board said no and the liquor authority said yes anyway, so.
Yeah, no, that's true. Dano's probably won't be finished in time to work out its 2 years. I don't know, it's going very slowly, but in any case, we'll keep you posted on that. Did anybody have any questions about any zoning issues on City Island? One thing that I wanted to mention, Ellen Murphy was here and she went to a hearing that was held with the Army Corps of Engineers, which has a long-term project in mind to help prevent when storm surges occur during big storms, which are more frequent now than they used to be. They are talking about ways of preventing damage to Manhattan. One of their projects would be to build a barrier across at the Throgs Neck Bridge. This, of course, would result in huge storm surge problems in Eastchester Bay and probably Long Island Sound. So Ellen went to a hearing about this, and there's another one that's going to be in the middle of April to try to get people to petition against this sort of thing, or at least to make them understand that this could cause a great deal of problems for the Bronx and Westchester County as well. So people who are interested in going to this hearing, we're going to send out a notification about it so that we can go and raise our voices so that it isn't just Manhattan that gets taken care of. Does anybody have any questions about that? I mean, I live next door to a building that's owned by a man who is a clam digger named Clancy, who is with the Army Corps. And he bought a house on Eastchester Bay, which would seem to me that he might be against this. So I'm hoping when he moves back to City Island, that when the house is renovated, that he will be on our side as well. But I think we all have to speak up in a case like this. That's all I have.
Okay, so,
Yep.
I think,
Working, I think the battery is
all right, folks, so this is,
I have a report.
oh,
Don't forget.
yeah, this evening, come on.
I'm gonna write them in the poll again. Okay. Our committee will meet, the municipal committee will meet in mid-April. Let's see, we're working on the catch basins, especially by Artie's, which is caving in. There's been some pre-stop signs put up on City Island. If anyone notices that we need it in any other area, please let me know. I requested the potholes around the circle and City Island Road to be fixed. Also, I'd like to make a motion tonight that we discussed, last month. I wanted to ask the civic membership to support us asking for more police or a substation, location to be determined, anything to give us more offices during the summer permanently for us. I know it's a wish, but if you don't ask, I believe the answer is always no, so we might as well ask. So I'd like to speak to Councilman Jonai and work with a few other people, and I'd like to make a motion if the membership would support that. So my motion is to support substation or more police on City Island. So
Is there a
that's my
second?
motion.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions?
All right, thank you. If anyone has any concerns about potholes, lights, or anything, please let me know after the meeting or email the Civic, and Tom knows the email. And we're gonna put it on a wish list for Community Board Manager, Matt Cruz I spoke with, and he said, Kathy, please put together a wish list. So, let's put together a list. We deserve, you know, what we deserve. We pay taxes, so if there's anything on City Island you want to have fixed, let me know. We don't encourage 311 on neighbors or businesses, so I don't handle that. If anybody has that complaint, they could address the board on that. All right, thank you very much.
All right, folks, does anybody have any other outlying questions? Before I go to the
Bill?
gym and work out all this
Yeah,
stress.
before you go to the gym, I have a little bit of new business, which
Yes,
is,
ma'am.
the Island Current is just out today. I think you all saw the article on the history of oyster planting on City Island that was in last month's issue. This month's issue continues that. We are now undergoing a huge effort here on City Island, of which already a great number of volunteers have stepped forward to actually do oyster planting. We've talked to restaurants who are willing to give up their empty shells, hard shell clams as well as oysters. They will be collected. We're getting the school involved. We have places on the island where these shells can be taken and cured, which means leaving them in the open air for up to a year before they can be planted in the water, which happened in 1830s, and so it can happen again. We got a lot of people on board for this. These oysters are not to be eaten. These waters are still polluted, which is why we're putting the oysters there, because they can clean up the water. They can also prevent the storm surges more than the Army Corps apparently can. So we're looking forward to this becoming an ongoing project. It will get really launched on Via Community Day, which will be on May 10th, Friday. This is because last year's Via Community Day was such a huge success that Lori Vega back there, who works at Viacom, has managed to convince new people at Viacom that this should be a bigger and better one. We're gonna put up more pictures on empty storefronts and empty spaces of City Island's nautical history. We're gonna do a lot of refurbishing of the plantings that they started last year, plus doing some new ones. And we're gonna get the volunteers involved in the oyster project. So anybody who's interested in following through with this, please let us know. In the paper, there is an email address that you can send, fill out a form, in fact, about whether you'd like to participate in this for Via Community Day, but also for the foreseeable future. So it's a really good City Island project, and we hope that everybody will at least support it, if not actually get involved in it. Thanks.
We have representatives from the Benedetto's office, from Joe and I's office, and from Biagi's office. I'll ask them if they want to come up in this area. Unless they want to be on camera. Go up in this area and just address.
Hi, my name is Mary Ann Joyce, I'm with State Senator Alexander Biagi's office. I just want to introduce myself. I'll probably be the person you see most often coming from the office. I'm the liaison for City Island. The office is open for constituents and for visits from 10 to 6 every day. We're at 1250 Waters Place, room suite 1202. It's Tower 1. The phone number is 718-822-2049. If folks have questions, concerns, need help navigating city or state agencies, and you think we can be helpful, please reach out to us. There's some flyers on the table, and I also have cards if folks want to grab a card. And I just wanted to say that Senator Biagi is hosting First Fridays, where she'll be in the office and available for people to come in and mix and mingle sort of, and ask questions and connect with the office every first Friday of the month. And the next one will be April 5th, and it starts at 5:30 as opposed to 5, which is what it says on the flyer. And we're also doing mobile office hours in different locations around the block, around the Bronx. And we're also open to walk-ins at the office if both of you want, please.
Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sean Corliss. I'm State Assemblyman of Michael Benedetto's office. I came to listen to your concerns, and if there's anything we can do to help, I'll be here at the end of the meeting. There's a couple little things going on, the driver's course, a mammography van, I left flyers on the desk, and there's also a big shredding event at the Greek Church in Brooklyn Boulevard, this Saturday from 11 to 2. If you have any documents or anything, the truck actually shreds them right there on the spot, so you know everything is safe to destroy. So they're gonna be at the Greek Church parking lot, this Saturday from 11 to 2. If you have any questions, the Assemblyman is up in Albany this time of year in session. If you have any questions for him, I'll be here at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Stanton, how are you, everyone? I'm from Mark Jonai's office, as most of you know. Kathy Sweat asked me to model the scarf that's on sale by the museum upstairs, and it's lovely. I get to keep it. It's like consideration of wearing it tonight. All right, so, just, the councilman is going to be donating to the Civic Association, I think it's 20 animal traps, that you can do with what you will, and we're not gonna take part in what you do with them, we're gonna donate them. We have some upcoming events. This is near and dear to my heart. April 3rd, I guess it's Wednesday, April 3rd, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4:30 p.m., ladies age 40 to 79, we have a mammogram van outside the office. Please get it done. If you haven't, don't be embarrassed. I went for my colonoscopy. I didn't want to. I did. Ladies, go for your mammogram. I lost 2 aunts to breast cancer. My mother is a breast cancer survivor, so go get it done. She got it detected early. Please do that. May 6th, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., outside the council office, we're hosting a blood drive. We're gonna have a van outside. We have lots of vans. But give blood, give it early, give it often. This is a really cute thing we're doing. April 12th, we've been collecting prom dresses. And
He's not gonna wear that.
this is the extent of my modeling. No, but what's really nice, prom dresses are really expensive. They're not accessible to a lot of the constituents. And so we're asking people who have them, who are never gonna wear them again, please donate them. And if you know anyone who could benefit from them, please come to the office April 12th, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. We have racks of them already. Please send the young ladies who might benefit from that. Again, April 12th, 3 to 7 p.m. Neighborhood cleanup days. We would like to work with the Civic and maybe PS 175 and do a neighborhood cleanup day on City Island. If we could like designate a section. When I heard Miss Vega's Vibe Community Day being mentioned, maybe somehow we could coordinate with that. So we've been doing that around the district and it's been very successful. So please come out. We have, we sponsor things on our, every week, every Friday, we send out a week in review. It has all sorts of information about the whole council district. If you're not receiving that email, come to me after the meeting, give me your email, I'll put you on the list, you'll get it. We're also announcing events, so if someone has an event that we think is worthy and it's proper to announce, we'll announce it so you get some more coverage throughout the district. It's an extensive email list, so please do that. That's it.